Tonight, let's speak with the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Mr. Garba, with some of the issues that have been linked to the President and the fact that people had raised issue on why the President hosted that NEC meeting at the Council Chamber. Thank you so much, Mr. Garba, for your time tonight on the program. Let's begin by getting clarification or the reasons behind what a lot of Nigerians, the average person, sees as where the Federal Executive Council meeting is usually held every Wednesday, was where the following day, on Thursday, that the party or the President hosted the NEC meeting. Why?
Well, thank you for inviting us to be part of your program. And to begin by saying that if you look at the laws of the country, constitution and all of that, there's nothing that says that a section of the villa is designated for this meeting or that meeting. So no law is violated. The President is a permanent resident of the villa so long as he's serving his elected term in office. He was required to present himself before a TV camera and be part of a digital meeting. This meeting had been called not to take place in the villa, but to take place digitally. And that the President had around himself some governors who came and some members of the National Assembly. And the President chose to do this from the council chamber. One, as I said, because there is no law that says he cannot make a telephone or TV conference call from his bedroom or any chamber. But also the fact that there are concerns about health. We are in a coronavirus environment. The situation does not allow for meetings in tiny rooms where people are compacted in total disregard of social distancing. You know the nature of the Secretariat to have and its conference room. People, in spite of air conditioning, people sweated through the hours of meetings. You can't have that going on under this coronavirus situation. So there are facilities for teleconferencing within the chamber. The President sat to do this while he was addressing the larger number of members who were connected via telephone and conference calls all across the country. He violated no law of this country. That's the point we're making.
So, Mr. Garba, violation of law on one side. So a lot of lawyers have also said that this is merely a moral issue, isn't it? And the fact that people, they thought that the decision to host that meeting at the Federal Executive Council chamber is about using the resources of state for party affairs. Do you think that was right?
Well, first of all, I will say that the question of morality does not arise because nobody, as I said, by practice or by law had designated the council chamber as a holy shrine where there cannot be this or that kind of meeting. And two, it is funny that people will ask that the President cannot have access, given incumbency, that he cannot use state facilities for engagement such as we just had now, teleconferencing. Now, assuming this meeting had held in the party secretariat in Wusetu, did they expect that the President will come out of the villa and flag down a taxi and go? That he will not use the protected bulletproof vehicles that he used to that meeting? And of course, if he had used those cars to the meeting, which he would have, they would still have said, why did you use state resources to do or to attend a party meeting? So everyone does it. That does not make it right. However, the point is that the PDP, which had been very outspoken in this thing, look, PDP had used the council chamber to canvass a breach of the Constitution of Nigeria. Wasn't third term canvassed in that chamber? Where were they? The problem they have as critics The party has lost memory of its own history. The way they are going, if care is not taken, one day PDP will tell us that they have forgotten that they have ruled this country for 16 years, in the course of which they had caused so much ruination. Otherwise, look at all of the years that they have served in there. What is President Buhari doing that others did not know? However, as I said, strictly on the point of view of law and morality, nothing has been breached by holding a teleconference from any part of the villa. It could have been the president's bedroom.
Mr. Shehu, are you saying to us tonight that there are no other facilities within the presidential villa where the president can hold this meeting or this teleconference aside the council chamber? Put the PDP aside. Let's talk as though we are Nigerians, and the president has his loyalty to Nigerians, some of them who voted for him into office. The fact that party or partisan issues are being taken into the hallowed chamber of the governance, where governance are being held, raised a lot of question. So are you saying that there are no other places where this can be held aside the council chambers, where governance issues are being discussed?
No, absolutely no. Because when you say that, then people miss the very essence of incumbency. Incumbency confers on a leader a number of advantages. The chairman of PDP cannot say, give me a room in the villa today, I want to go and sleep there. They will not admit him because he didn't win an election. The opposition cannot go to the villa and say, give us a conference room, we want to use it. You have to win an election to go in there. Those who won election before us, they have used the villa. When we finish our own term, we will leave. New people will come and occupy it. And they have to use the incumbency advantages are there. That's the essence of winning. If you lose, you don't get them.
Mr. Shehu, you have been, this is not your first time working in the presidential villa. Can you remember at any point during the times that you were there that such partisan issues are being held at the council chamber? Can you remember any in those years?
Please, can I get this question again, because the connection is becoming poor.
So I'm saying that this is not your first time working in the presidential villa. You've worked with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Can you remember in those years where the council chamber was used for such a partisan issue or partisan meeting?
I'm not saying, let me say, I'm not trying to justify justification from what others did in the past. If you are asking people with institutional memory, we have them in the villa. And as I said to you, if it is a desecration of the villa, the former vice president himself was announced expelled from that chamber. How could, that was the height of partisanship in any government that you could have had. So we have seen them come and go, and they had expressed support for this leader or that leader and said, we support you, whether they're traditional rulers or governors or whoever they are. So the thing is that people cannot forget themselves and begin to, because it is Buhari. That's why they are making all this noise. That's why I said people forget their own history. They forget.
What about the, so a lot of, I mean, one of the other issues which has been raised is the fact that the Attorney General, Mr. Abubakar Malami, was the one who sworn in the APC Caretaker Committee chairman. Is that also, in any sense, within the presidency, a right decision to take?
Please, can you give me the question again, because
so I said another issue that was raised is the role of the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice in that cabinet, who was used as a lawyer to swear in the APC caretaker chairman. For a lot of people who found a problem with that, from the presidency perspective, was that a good decision to make?
Before he became Attorney General of the Federation, he had been a card-carrying member and the lawyer of the party. When he swore in Adams Oshomole after their own election at Eagle Square, why didn't they make this observation? Attorney General had been there to swear in all party leaders at the party secretariat and at Eagle Square, where we have had this. All government lawyers have done this in the past. So he did that as a lawyer, as a lawyer and a member of the, not necessarily as Attorney General of the Federation.
Let me ask you then, because there's another issue here, and it's about your principal's relationship with the leader of the APC, Bola Tinubu. What is the president's position? Because a lot of the disposition of some members of your party is such that the decision of NEC and the body language of the president is not one that is favorable to perhaps the relationship between Bola Tinubu and President Muhammadu Buhari.
Those who say that, they don't know the nature of the relationship between the president and Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As we said in a statement, they have managed one of the most enviable relationships you could ever have in politics without any rancor or any stress. They know how they do it. They have been in touch with one another. They are in touch with one another. They converse directly and through trusted officials, including our chief of staff and all of that. So people should not dabble into things that they don't know. Everyone is a winner from what has happened on Thursday at that NEC meeting. I'm glad to say that Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself has given a statement in which he totally endorsed all of that has happened and has said he's behind it. So there shouldn't be a controversy where there is none, unless people simply are desperate to manufacture one.
Can you confirm to us whether or not President Buhari conferred with the leader of the APC, Bola Tinubu, before that NEC meeting? Did your principal give you a hint about that?
Whether the president gave him a hint.
Whether the president hinted you if he conferred with Bola Tinubu before that NEC meeting and perhaps about the decision they took at that NEC meeting.
I am not in a position to give you this confirmation because when they hold their private conversations, I will not be invited as a witness. So between the president and Ashwaju Bola Tinubu is a relationship that is elevated above my head. What they discuss between themselves, I will not know. But I assure you that if people think that one is alienating the other, they are totally wrong, especially given that fantastic statement that has been issued and personally signed by Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on all of these matters.
But Mr. Shehu, what is the position of the president himself? Has he told you anything after that meeting about Bola Tinubu?
We have issued a statement, and the president is in the full picture of that statement, which is to say that between I and Bola Tinubu, there is nothing that is amiss. And so we said to people, to critics, don't say things you don't know. You better study this relationship and know how it works before you begin to pretend that you are knowledgeable about these things. A lot of people, unfortunately, have displayed their ignorance on TV and newspapers, classifying winners and losers from the outcome of that meeting. No. Everyone came out a winner, and the rank and file of our party membership is extremely pleased with that outcome. And the rest is for us to see what comes from here.
Mr. Garba, Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on Media and Publicity, thank you tonight for your interventions and your thoughts.
Thank you for the opportunity.